Shalom, this is GMS Online Sit Downs coming back with the lesson. First off and foremost, like always, I want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostle of Great Millstone GMS for teaching us this truth and that rule well. Peace and blessings to the elect out there spreading this word, this sincerity and the truth. Yeah, man, news coming in. There was an article I saw I think 5 days ago, something like that, maybe a week ago, that Russia was going to test its new hypersonic missile before the year 2019. And they just did, man. They just did, and with that came all kinds of weapons of war, which are basically a part of this, how you call that? An armed war. It's basically a armed war race. So America is pulling out its weapons and upgrading its weapons. Then you have Russia upgrading its weapons. They have China upgrading its weapons, North Korea upgrading its weapons. So it's an armed war race, you know, a showing of power, which is always a part of a war rousing up. The showing of power. Show what you have, you know, and then you have defaming each other, provoking each other, you know. So Russia is now showing his power, which on RT News, I saw it yesterday in a video. Let me see if I can pull it up. In this video, Russia new avant-garde missile defense system, you know, where they show you the missile technique that Putin used, that it was successful, you know, the hypersonic missile. They call it the avant-garde missile, and they go into that America's defense system will not be capable of intercepting this missile. Neither will it for the upcoming years, man. The technology will not be on this level that it will intercept this, will be able to intercept this missile for the upcoming years. So this is beautiful news, man, because, you know, it's part of prophecy, man. Russia is gonna shoot missiles at America, and it's gonna make her desolate. So it says from hypersonic glider to nuke subs, you know, because this hypersonic missile is basically a glider, man. It glides through space. It goes out of the firmament it's like it goes out of the air under the firmament, which is where we are, and it goes into the water above the firmament, which is space. And from space it comes down again with a hypersonic speed. So it says from hypersonic glider to nuke subs, meet Russian arms on brink of deployment. And I just read about a nuke sub that is able to cause a tsunami that can flood the whole entire part of Los Angeles. See, so weapons are being deployed and are being prepared. So it says a Tu-160 strategic bomber, RIA Novosti.
Yo, amigo.
So these weapons are being deployed and being tested. So it says Moscow has finished testing its new hypersonic glider, which will enter service in 2019. As the date nears, RT has picked several state-of-the-art weapons that are due to boost Russia's deterrence soon. Modern weapons projects can take decades of development, and for obvious reasons are shrouded in layers of secrecy and obfuscation. Okay, here are 5 Russian weapons which are pretty much certain to enter service within a year or so. Avangard hypersonic glider, Kinzhal missiles. If you don't know about it, let's read this shortly. Another one of the 5 is the Kinzhal ballistic missile, and it had the shortest trip of deployment. Even the provisional and not yet operational, the air-launched hypersonic projectile was supposedly derived from a missile fired by Icelander M-Mobile launcher and requires a special fast-moving platform like the MiG-31K interceptor. Okay, also a bunch of missiles, you know. But like I said here, they spoke about the reason why Russia is making these missiles, because Donald Trump wants to deploy missiles into Europe, which that's a straight up threat for Putin, because yeah, it's closer to his border basically, you know. So when in the scripture speaks about he brought them to the border, whenever a nation brings you to the border, that means war, man. So this is an act of war also. If Donald Trump wants to deploy missiles to Europe, that's a straight up threat, man. So Putin went to work and created all these weapons, man, preparing himself. So it says new White Swans, supersonic bomber, upgraded Yasin class attack submarines. The Russian Navy is also to get its modernized Yasin class nuclear propelled attack submarine. More stealth technology for Borai class subs. Russian submarine, but instead cruise missiles and torpedoes. It carries nuclear long-range missiles. You see, so all these things is happening, and it's all prophecy, of course, because Gog and Magog, which is the Russians living in the land of Japhet, because Gog and Magog was first given to Japhet, you know, they are preparing for war, man. So this is Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus said Yahweh the Most High, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws. So the Most High is pulling out these Russians, pulling them to the forefront, you know, to prepare for war. And I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So the army, which part of the army is these missiles, man, these weapons that they are preparing right now. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, and the Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarma of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. You see, so they are preparing for war, man, which we have been proclaiming. This war is gonna come. World War III is about to pop off, man. Russia's preparing for war. You know, this war is gonna happen, man. You know, sometimes you might see like, yeah, Trump and Putin are in a good case. They are good with each other, and you know, everything is solved. Well, Proverbs chapter 21:1 says, the Most High turneth it whithersoever he goeth, man. The heart of the kings. It's like a river going into a country and coming out of a country. So it takes time, man. So it says, proclaim ye this, Joel 3:9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. This is the point. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. Now this is the thing that a nation does when it comes close to war. Plowshare representing you know, a work in land, you know, busy with the land, with the infrastructure, stuff like that. But what happens when a nation is about to go to war? All the tax money and all the government money is being invested into war, man, into weapons. There was a long period of time wherein Holland was also busy investing money in the infrastructure and in the wealth of the country, and they decreased the money which went to the army, man, which went to the military. So beating your plowshares into swords also represents that countries are gonna be more busy with investing in their military might, man. Which the military might of nowadays is these missiles, nuclear capability. You see, because if you look at these weapons, it all has to do something with nuclear capabilities, man. It all has to do with bombs, with nuclear bombs. Because even these submarines, they was carrying torpedoes, you know, and now they are being strapped up with nuclear missiles, man. You see? But instead of cruise missiles and torpedoes, it carries nuclear long-range missiles. So a submarine can deploy a long-range missile from basically everywhere in the earth, man. Because they are creating these long-range missiles so they can reach America from whatever standpoint, man. America needs to deploy missiles to Europe in order to catch them. But North Korea, Russia, they are busy with far better technology that they can reach them from every point of the earth, man. That's why in the Cold War there was a threat being made by Russia towards America that they was deploying missiles towards Cuba, man. They don't need to do that no more, because they prepared their swords. They beat their pruning hooks into swords, man. Beat your plowshares, they beat their plowshares into swords. So it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. You see, so America was always this strong country with this strong military force. But nowadays, it's not about your military force, man. It's about your nuclear capability. So the ones that were weak, that couldn't stand off against America, can't stand off against America now. Because why? You are being made strong if you have nuclear capability. And if your nuclear capability is able to surpass the anti-missile technology that America has, that makes you a strong nation, man, even though you're small. You see? So these things are happening, and soon these missiles will be deployed, man, and the heat will rouse up even more than it already is. You know, and Trump is gonna do bugged out shit that even Europe is gonna be angry of, man. You see? And then even Europe is gonna deploy missiles towards America, like it says in Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. You see, that's what I spoke about, you know, coming to war. So there are countries that are in league with America right now, that have allyship with America, but even they are gonna betray them and gonna prepare war with America, man. For example, you see France is basically neglecting America at this point, you know, because the president of France, Macron, he said the economic market of Europe standing without America will be far greater than America standing and dealing with its own market. Because why? Europe sells to America. America buys from Europe. A lot of products in America, Europe is not really buying it, man. Not how America is buying from Europe. You see, so Macron already came with a financial threat, and it's only a matter of time that they will come with military threats, man, like Russia, North Korea, China. You see, so all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread, they that do deals with them, trade deals, you know, the economic markets, you know. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, and that wound is going to be that nuclear missile, man. There is none understanding in him. You see, so this is beautiful news. This is a news update. Russia upgrading its missiles, its weapons, beating its plowshares into swords, and preparing for war, man. So with that, I'm going to say, Kala Layim, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakotash. Shalom.